Hey, my pretties, it's the Queen of Lions here, and today we're back with episode 139 on Shadows and Pretties. So, the last episode we did was, we did the Rugrats, in Paris movie. Now, to continue on with the fact that, this is the final movie of the Rugrats, movie trilogy. Today we're going to take a look at the movie, which is a Rugrats Wild Thornberry's crossover movie called Rugrats Go Wild. This movie came out in 2003, on the same year that Rugrats, the TV show Rugrats, was having its season finale. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Unfortunately, this is one of the movies that didn't do as great as the other first two movies did. This is a movie that didn't do as great as the first two movies did. Now, why is that, you might be asking? Well, we'll get to that point later. So, yeah, this movie was actually has a sequel and its crossover films. It's the second and last film in the Wild Thornberry's series, and as a sequel crossover, its films with Rugrats. That's in Paris, which is a sequel, and it's a crossover to the Wild Thornberry's movie. So, anyways, with that being the case, that being said, I think we should go ahead and, get started with this one. So, unfortunately, this movie was not very successful in theaters, even though it was released in 2003 by Paramount Pictures. But, anyways, let's get to the plot of the movie. Yeah. Most of you guys probably remember watching it when you were a kid and probably liked it back then when you were a kid as well. I'm sure most of us always thought of that. To me personally, this movie was actually pretty interesting. Seeing the Wildberry Thornberries crossing over with the Rugrats. I mean, I honestly could see that being the case, like a crossover when I was a kid. So, anyways, let me go on with the plot of the movie, explain what the movie is about in case if you guys hadn't seen the movie in like a while or for those who haven't seen it. So, if you don't want spoilers, I recommend you click off this video now, but if you want to see this movie, let's get started. So the Rugrats go on an adventure through the safari as Tommy impersonates Nigel Thornberry, aka Tim Curry's character. And yes, Tim Curry is actually in this movie and he voices Nigel Thornberry, which I mean, it's pretty nice to see that Tim Curry is in this movie. And whose role model and spoofs of its nature, the baby's broadcast is cut short when they come across a tiger and then a crocodile, both of which threaten them. Just as they begin sinking in quicksand by a nearby attack, this is revealed to only be their imagination, and the babies and their families are about to go on vacation on the Lipschitz cruise ship. When the families arrive at the dock, they miss the Lipschitz cruise, and Tommy's father, Stu, has rented a ramshackle shack boat called the SSS Nancy, which he reveals to be their real mode of transportation and their real vacation. The families are angered that Stu did not consult them on his plans, so the boat is soon flipped over by a rouge wave, which it was during a tropical storm. Everyone is forced to abandon the ship and aboard a life raft as the ship sinks. Everyone then blames Stu for causing all this and lose hope on being saved. Things start to look up when Angelica sings about having hope on her karaoke machine, which resembles a toy piano that she bought, until Spike's tail accidentally knocks both her and Cynthia and the doll and the karaoke machine into the ocean. The next morning they arrive on a small, seemingly uninhabited island, possibly in, Polynesia, which is kind of like a suburban sub-region of Oceania. So, Angelica then finds her Cynthia doll on the beach, and the adults argue about who should be the leader. When it gets out of hand, Betty suggests a test, and she draws a circle around the fighting adults and tells everyone to step out of the circle, saying that it's a bad circle and they should all step out and say they all feel better. Except Stu, but Betty, then the leader, and after Diddy forbids him from volunteering, much to his chagrin. The opposite of the side of the island was a famous global trotting family of the Thornberrys, out from a clouded leopard. Tommy and Chucky and the rest of the kids, all except for Angelica, set off to find them. They suspect that they're out there somewhere on the island. Along the way, Chucky gets lost and runs into the Thornberry's child, Donnie, who ends up stealing Chucky's clothes, forcing Chucky to wear Donnie's shorts, and he laments on looking like a wild boy. Meanwhile, Eliza, the gifted Thornberry, is exploring about the jungle with Darwin, her chimpanzee companion. They run into Spike, who is the Pickles dog, and since Eliza can talk to animals, Spike, now voiced by Bruce Willis, talks for the first time. Although he is spoken in Chucky's dream sequence from the episode in Dreamtime, he informs that the babies are lost somewhere on the island. Under the impression that Spike is looking for puppies, Eliza, who is reluctant Darwin, agrees to help him find them. Following their close encounter with Suri, who is an angry clouded leopard who spoke to Spike, believes that just to be a regular domestic cat, they learn to meet the human babies. Simultaneously, Elijah's father, Nigel, finds the babies and he leads them in the direction, but ends up tumbling down the hill after suffering from amnesia after a coconut falls on his head. They encounter Siri, but Donnie fends her off. Then Chucky finds them and they get back their clothes. After escaping from Siri on a high-speed pram, the gang then finds himself in a crater, and Angelica, going by Angelica Kitty or something, the island princess, they run into Debbie, who is a teenage Thornberry, and takes off with Debbie and the Thornberry's all-purpose mobile communication vehicle. In order to get back faster, Angelica steals the Thornberry's bathysphere and accidentally sinking to the convoy and attempt to pilot it. She finds herself, retrieves the babies and Nigel, while meanwhile Stu has managed to create a working coconut radio, and the other parents run into Donnie, who is still wearing Chucky's clothes. After chasing him through the beach, and they run into a Moraine Thornberry, who is the mother of Eliza and Debbie and wife of Nigel. Stu's coconut radio picks up the babies, and Angelica, having accidentally turned on the bathysphere's radio, Angelica and Susie, while fighting to control, have crashed their bathysphere at the bottom of the ocean. Nigel hit his head on the crash and regains his memories. Meanwhile, with the other parents' help, Marine then raises the babies to come vive and then uses the automatic retrieval system to rescue Nigel and the babies just as the air runs out. They are reunited with their families and forgive Stu, and everyone gets on board the Lipschitz cruise, and the Thornberrys join them too, deciding that they should take a vacation, much to Debbie's delight. Spike vows never to lose his babies again, and that's how the movie ends. I really enjoyed this story. I'm not going to deny that right now. It was a really great story for how this movie is. I do like how all the characters from, Rugrats and Thornberrys were added in there. I mean, I really do like how, this was a crossover, with the Rugrats and, Wild Thornberrys. Now, I do like that Tim Curry is Nigel Thornberry. I really do like that. I honestly find it to be a pretty good movie, although maybe not the best one in the world, but hey, I've seen better movies these days. So, Rugrats Go Wild was originally made by Gillespie Cuspo's television unit, but after screenings, Paramount decided that it should be reshelved and remade into a feature film. Amongst the biggest promotion received in the film was Bruce Willis voicing Spike, and the use of the Adorma cards re-enhancing the viewing experience. So Burger King and Blockbuster released such a scratch and sniff piece of cardboard that was scratched during the running of the movie. There were some complaints about the Adorma cards, including one that claimed that the cards only smelled like cardboard and the Adorma card was somewhat a homage to John Walters from the film Polyester. Now, despite the homage, the Walters then was ripped off, and they realized that the New Line Cinema, the studio released Polyester, did not renew the copyright for the movie and later said there was a check in the world of homage. So the cards would later be released with the DVD release of the movie. Early trailers for the film give its titled The Rugrats Meet the Thornberries. I think that's what the earlier movie was originally going to be. During its theatrical runs, Rugrats Go Wild presented in smell-o-vision during certain scenes in the movie, where an icon would appear on the screen beside it. For example, a smelly shoe. When this happened, the audio members would smell a scratch and sniff card, which they were handed at the box office with the image. So, yeah. Rugrats Go Wild was eventually released on VHS and DVD in 2003. Most VHS copies included a smell-o-vision scratch and sniff card, as did most initial runs on DVDs. Later copies of DVDs did not include the additional cards, but retained the option to view the film's scratch and sniff icons. So the film was available as part of the Rugrats free disc set, as well as all the films, including a double feature set that included the Rugrats movie. The film was eventually re-released on DVD in 2017. Although the movie did not do as good as the first two movies, I still really find this one to be, enjoyable for how this movie really was. I mean, this was released, I think, sometime either before Rugrats had the finale of the show or after it. I honestly do not remember, but it was one or the other. So, I don't know. I haven't watched the movie in like a really long time, so I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie. I mean, the concept of this movie seemed to be pretty interesting, and, it does have a pretty good concept for, what the plot of this movie was going to be about. I do like it that it's a crossover of the Wild Thornberries, which I think that's pretty neat. And I found that to be pretty awesome that they actually sat there and did that. And I mean, this is honestly a pretty good crossover concept in my opinion. I don't understand why a lot of people really don't like it. Although this was released, I think, before Rugrats had their final season or after it. I'm not sure when Rugrats ended. Well, I know it ended in 2003, but I don't know if it ended before this movie came out or if it ended after this movie came out. Maybe if you guys have seen the movie, maybe you guys can maybe let me know in the comments, because, yeah, you guys might be able to let me know in the comments about it, because, yeah, I might get an answer from there. Now, to wrap this up, it's an interesting movie. I really do like the fact that Tim Curry is in this movie, as well as, the Wild Thornberries and Rugrats crossing over, because they're both Nickelodeon. I can honestly see this being the case. It's a really good movie, and it's definitely a good crossover movie. If you're a Rugrats fan and you really like a lot of Rugrats movies and that, so this movie is probably your go-to if you want to watch it. But if you don't like the movie, I respect your opinion. If you like the movie, that's fine. If you don't like the movie, then that's understandable, because I respect your opinion regardless of this movie. So, I mean, we all have our own opinions regards to these movies. So anyways, I really do find this movie to be enjoyable. It's a great movie, definitely a great concept, and I really do like how, that it's a great crossover and there's like good scenes. So anyways, with that being said, what did you guys think about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this movie a lot better? Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you on the next video. Peace out.